Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM on this Friday morning. I'm Channing Curtis. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick also here on this Friday morning telling us all about the forecast. And Thomas, a lot of people are excited about your weekend forecast because you're forecasting snow.
Yeah, and for those that maybe aren't the most avid of skiers or snowboarders, let me say it this way. 1 to 3 inches of snow is something we can handle in Spokane, but our mountains absolutely need it. And for those that are going to plan on hitting the slopes, this is a big time positive for the area. But we are under winter weather advisories for Saturday. Obviously, any kind of snow can make those roads a bit slippery and slushy at even the best of times. Our next storm system has already taken shape and it's nearing British Columbia, but it's going to take a turn towards the south, and it's basically going to cut a path straight through central Washington, and that will lead to our snowfall event heading into Saturday. So coming up, I'm going to have the latest details and model projections in terms of exactly how much snow we are expecting in your neck of the woods.
The University of Idaho is now responding to allegations against head women's volleyball coach Chris Gonzalez. U of I's communications director says they opened an investigation into, quote, legal issues against the coach in November. Since then, U of I says that investigation expanded to, quote, include climate and culture issues. The university released a statement that reads in part, the University of Idaho is deeply concerned about the allegations brought by some members of the women's volleyball team against their coach, Chris Gonzalez. The start of the investigation was delayed at the request of those who filed the complaints in order to finish the season. We'll continue to track this story for you, but for that full statement, you can just head over to our website at krem.com. In the meantime, the city of Spokane is now trying to clear the air around Fire Chief Brian Schaefer. Following a confusing press release on Wednesday, the city now says that Schaefer is retiring and will step down as chief later this month. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is looking back at Schaefer's career and the challenges that he faced as chief.
According to this press release, Schaefer has been thinking about retirement for a while, even during Mayor Woodward's administration. Now, Mayor Brown is wishing him the best and says more details on the transition process will be released soon.
I'm Assistant Chief Brian Schaefer.
Brian Schaefer has been with the Spokane Fire Department for the better part of 2 decades, climbing the ladder to Assistant Chief and finally Fire Chief in May 2017.
I'm humbled and really proud to lead this organization and serve as the city's fire chief.
During his 6 years as chief, Schaefer became a familiar face on local news, leading the community through many emergencies, including wildfires and the COVID-19 pandemic. Schaefer also helped roll out the city's behavioral response unit in 2018 when the department experienced a double-digit increase in mental health calls.
Obviously, we're not doing a good enough job because we're dealing with the consequences right now and the numbers are staggering.
Schaefer also embraced diversity within the department and was heavily criticized for posting this sign on the front door of every fire station in the city.
Not everyone liked it when you did that.
No, and I don't expect them to. You know, that's the beautiful thing about the United States. We can certainly have different beliefs, but at the end of the day, you know, it can't be something that you just don't talk about.
Schaefer at times had a bumpy relationship with the Spokane Firefighters Union. KREM 2 reached out to the union president. He wouldn't go on camera. The city says Schaefer will officially step down as chief on January 15th, but will stay with the department through March 31st, assisting with the transition. Assistant Fire Chief Tom Williams will remain in his role and continue to manage day-to-day operations, according to the mayor's office. And we have several calls and texts out to Chief Schaefer. We want to know more about his decision to retire. So far, he hasn't responded. In the studio, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
This morning, we're learning more after a gunman killed a 6th grade student at a high school in Perry, Iowa. 4 other students and a school administrator were also injured. Police received reports of an active shooter just after 7:30 a.m. yesterday. Police say that it was just before classes started. They say the shooter was a 17-year-old student who also died. In the town of about 8,000 people, residents came together last night for a candlelight vigil.
It is an opportunity for us to remind each other that love always wins.
I never thought this would ever happen in this little town of Perry, you know, but we've got to get through this together as a community, and we will.
Thursday was scheduled to be the first day of the school year for the new semester. According to the district's calendar, classes for today have been canceled. It is 6:05 right now. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. A body was found wearing clothing matching the description of a missing monk. That monk was reported missing back in early November. The body was found in a pond near the area where he went missing. Neighbors told Ponderay County Sheriff deputies that the pond had been frozen and only recently had thawed. We're expecting to learn more information, though, once the autopsy report is released. Alaska Airlines delivered of its first longer-range Boeing 737-8 MAX. Alaska will use the plane on its new nonstop route from Anchorage to New York. Now, when it launches in June, the flight will be the longest that the airline operates. So now, through 2027, Alaska plans on adding between 15 and 25 new Boeing planes each year. And Visit Idaho unveiled its 2024 Idaho Travel Guide. It highlights Idaho's vast outdoor activities, as well as fun, food, and even helpful history. The best part is the guide is all free. So you can head over to visitidaho.org to get your copy today. And that's a look at your morning rush. Well, I think it's safe to say that our local ski resorts are beyond ready for this weekend's expected snowfall. So this morning, our Nicole Hernandez is joining us live from Mount Spokane, giving us the very latest on what Mount Spokane has planned and how much they're looking forward to all of this snow. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, Janning. Yes, okay, I feel like every time you guys have come out to me, I've had like an extra layer on. Like I started out in nothing and now I have like my gloves and my jacket and everything because it's cold out here. But that's okay. We just came out to the actual snow here. We're at the top of the magic carpet on Mount Spokane. I've got General Manager Jim with us. So Jim, how much snow have you gotten overnight and how much more are you expecting?
Yeah, so we got about 4 inches, and looking at the NOAA website, we're expecting probably about a foot over the next couple of days through Monday. So everybody's ready for snow.
I was gonna say, how excited is everyone that we're finally getting to see the snow?
Yeah, it's been a long wait. You know, typically somewhere between the 2nd and the 18th of December, the snow usually flies and we're out skiing as a community. This year it was just a little delayed, and so now we got Happy New Year.
And I know that, you know, you mentioned people have still been coming out. We've still had some, you know, runs open and stuff. How have you guys made that happen?
Yeah, so creative snowmaking. Basically, we brought snow up from the parking lot to get our learning area open.
No way.
And, you know, people were really patient and they wanted to ski. They were here. We really thank all those that came out. And now we're just excited to welcome the whole community to all of our ski mountains here in the Pacific Northwest. So.
Absolutely. And I know the snow is not just going to help you guys, it's going to help all the resorts. But for you guys specifically, what are you guys going to be able to open?
Yeah, so right now we're running on 3 of our 6 lifts and then the magic carpet. We'll be able to open 2 more lifts this weekend. So we'll have 2/3 of our terrain open. And then just our ski school is going to be full tilt. We have over 100 instructors kind of ready to welcome all levels of skiers. So very excited. So
you guys open at 9 o'clock today, yes?
Yep.
And then you're starting night skiing next week. It's all happening.
Yeah.
We've got winter.
Yeah, winter is here.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know if they were behind us when we were chatting, but you know, they've got crews out. They're getting ready for it this morning and then heading into the weekend. We're just going to keep having fun out here today. Eventually they're going to start that magic carpet and you can see me fall down on my snowboard. So stay tuned for that.
Conditions look nice and groomed at the moment. Glad to hear that our area mountains and ski resorts are getting some snowfall, even with some of the lighter snow showers this week. Yes, more on the way. As of this morning, our temperatures are on either side of the freezing mark. Important to note, because at low elevations, we had mostly rain yesterday. But if we're at 30 degrees in Coeur d'Alene, there will be some black ice spots because of that water that is refreezing this morning. No snowfall at the moment, but that storm system is inbound. We do have some snow showers over the Cascades. Looks like tomorrow morning will be our main event for snowfall across the inland Northwest. And right now, our mountain snowpack is way behind normal for early January, ranging between about 45 to 60% of those normals. But we should be able to increase those numbers by the end of the weekend.
Well, we're taking a live look at our storm tracker this morning as they are driving around right now, giving us a look at how those road conditions are this morning. Looks like everything is moving along smoothly and traffic and cars are just heading on to work and starting their day.